Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast. In this podcast, I'll be talking about my observations about the 2024 Stanley Cup Finals Semifinals. In this podcast, I have an update on the NHL Semifinals and my observations on each of the playoff matchups. In the series between the New York Rangers and Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Rangers lead the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1. The New York Rangers stormed out to a 2-0 lead in the series after taking games 1 and 2 at home, and then won game 3 in overtime thanks to a Panarin game-winning goal and 45 saves from Igor Shesterkin. Facing elimination in Game 4, Carolina came out storming and had a 3-1 lead heading into the second period, but saw that lead evaporate when the Rangers eventually tied the game at 3 before a Brady Shea power play goal put them ahead 4-3. Carolina has outshot the Rangers in every game after the Game 1 loss and have had their fair share of chances, but special teams continues to be an issue in the postseason. Igor Shesterkin has held down the fort in net for the Rangers and has outplayed Frederik Andersen and Peter Kochetkov in net for Carolina. The line that has done the damage for the Rangers has been the Artemi Panarin line with ex-Carolina Hurricane Vincent Trocheck and former number 1 overall pick in 2020, Alexis Lafreniere. This line has been huge for the Rangers all season long and continues to be excellent in the postseason. Carolina's power play went 0 for 15 prior to the Brady Shea power play goal in Game 4. They will need to be more consistent on the power play if they want to win the series. The Rangers' speed and skill has completely picked apart a typically well-positioned Carolina team. And perhaps a major reason for this is because of the absence of Brett Pesce, who is their second best defensive defenseman after Jacob Slavin. If Carolina wants to come back in this series, they will have to have much better goaltending and defense. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/hockeywiz777scouting. In the other Eastern Conference matchup between the Florida Panthers and Boston Bruins, the Florida Panthers lead the Boston Bruins 2-1. After losing Game 1 to Boston 5-1, the Florida Panthers bounced back to win games 2 and 3, 6-1 and 6-2 respectively, and completely dismantled them in all facets of the game. Brad Marchand was injured towards the end of Game 3, and that could have a major effect on the rest of the series moving forward. Florida has outscored Boston 13-8 in this series and have also outchanced the Bruins. A major reason why Florida has been more dominant than Boston, a reason why Florida has been more dominant on offense in this series is because they are able to possess the puck more due to their dominance in the faceoff circle. They have been owning Boston in the circle, and it all starts from Alexander Barkov, their captain. Florida has straight up had the better goaltending in this series, as Sergei Bobrovsky has outplayed Jeremy Swayman. We'll have to see if Boston will eventually switch from Swayman to Ullmark after he gave up 6 goals in back-to-back games. Boston will need their star players to show up if they want to have any chance of winning this series. That means whether it's Pasternak or Brad Marchand, they will need to make their impact felt. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. In the first Western Conference Semifinals between the Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars lead the Colorado Avalanche 2-1. Colorado came back to win Game 1 in the third period thanks to Dallas. Colorado came back to win Game 1 in the third period after entering the third period trailing. But then Dallas went on to win the next 2 games to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Dallas was completely dominant in Game 3 thanks to a 28 save performance from Jake Oettinger and 2 goals from Logan Stankoven. Colorado will need to find a way to generate more scoring opportunities against a stingy Dallas defense. Dallas has outscored Colorado 12-8 in this series. A major reason for this is because Dallas has been disciplined and kept Colorado playing 5-on-5 and has not given them many power play opportunities. They will need to continue to be disciplined and stay out of the box to be successful against this high-powered Colorado team. Jake Oettinger has outplayed Alexander Georgiev, and as expected, this could be a key factor in the series. Colorado needs better secondary scoring from players not named Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, or Cale Makar. So players such as Casey Mittelstadt and Arturi Lehkonen need to chip in a goal here or there. I feel like Dallas has a physical edge in this series, and that is a major factor in why Dallas is up in this series. Some of the players that the Colorado Avalanche added in the offseason, like Miles Wood, and a player they added during the trade deadline in Yakov Trenin, need to prove their worth by playing physical. Listen to Hockey Wiz Talks podcast on Podbean and Spotify. In the other Western Conference semifinals, between the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers, the series is tied at 1. The Edmonton Oilers had a 4-2 lead heading to the third period of Game 1, but then Vancouver stormed back to score 3 straight goals in the third period to take a 1-0 lead in the series. After his worst postseason game in a long time, Connor McDavid, who was held without a shot in Game 1, bounced back in Game 2 to record 4 points to help Edmonton win Game 2 4-3. Leon Draisaitl also picked up 4 points as well. The Vancouver Canucks absolutely need to stay out of the box if they want to have any chance of winning this series. They have outplayed Edmonton 5-on-5. However, Edmonton's power play continues to be red hot, connecting on 45% of their power play opportunities, while their penalty kill has also been great, killing 94% of the penalties they have taken in the playoffs. Arthur Civils has outplayed Stuart Skinner thus far, as Stuart Skinner has been shaky in net for Edmonton, and you can say he was a major reason why Edmonton lost Game 1. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are the two biggest X factors in this series and in any game Edmonton plays in. We will have to monitor how Vancouver plays against those two players moving forward in this series. Check out my travel channel at youtube.com/HockeyWizTravels. It will be interesting to see how the rest of this series plays out and who moves on to play in the conference finals. In my next podcast, I'll be doing a conference finals preview.